Hi friends, welcome to or welcome back to the channel Jane Reads. So today I am going to do a December in and out video. I got this idea for the in and out from Becca at Becca Books and Bujo. She does this every single month of books that she's hauled or received for the month and books that she's unhauling for that month, and to kind of keep track of how many's on her TBR as she was working to reduce her TBR numbers. I don't tend to haul a ton of books, or I go in spurts of when I haul books. I don't do enough every month to do a video every month, and I don't like to do unhauls a lot. I don't unhaul a lot of books to begin with because I don't like to unhaul if I haven't read a book, and I don't like to do negative videos, so I won't do like a full unhaul video. So I have been including any books that I'm unhauling in kind of my weekly vlog videos that I've been doing, and I've done some hauls in those videos as well. So all the physical books in this video are in different December weekly vlogs of when I received them. So I'm going to leave the physical books for the end, because if you've already watched those, you probably don't want to watch this again. So then once I'm done the Kindle books that I've acquired over the month of December, then I'll do the physical and you can tune out if you want to. There was something, the reason I want to do a separate haul video is because eventually in the future, I would like to do a video looking back at a book haul and have I read it yet? And if I haven't read it, I need to add it to that TBR. But in order to do a look back at a video, I need a video to look back on, right? So that is why I'm doing a separate book haul video for this. And then I will tell you where my TBR number stands at the end of 2025 going into 2026. And I will tell you, as of today, filming this, that number has already changed because I've already acquired books in January, but they will not be included in this video because I will do a separate video, maybe? We'll see. Okay, yeah, I will do a separate video in February of all the books I brought in January, and it might be 2 minutes long because it might only be a few books, but we'll see. Okay, so over the month of December, there was a lot of sales going on and a lot of freebies going on. So I brought in 9 Kindle books and I spent 99 cents plus tax, so $1.13. Because I'm Canadian, Ontario specifically. So yeah, so 9 Kindle books. That's pretty good, eh? Okay. Oh, that totally Canadian there. So the first book, so I've got my tablet here so I could pull up the books to tell you a little bit about them. The covers will be inserted here. So let me move over a bit. Okay, so the very first book is Barreling Through Christmas by Shanna Hatfield. This is book 4 of the Rodeo Romance series. I have read this book. I really enjoyed it. I don't have my rating here, but where's my book description? Oh, here we go. Okay. Is this the one where they... No, this is not the one. Okay. Different storyline. So yeah, I have read it. However, I didn't own this one. I read it on Kindle Unlimited originally. So it's like, okay, well, let's just build up my collection, because I do plan on rereading this series through, because it's a series where I am not caught up to the end. More books are being published. Okay, so as I said, it is book 4. We are following one character for sure that we met in earlier books. I'm not sure if we've met her. We've met him for sure. Okay, advertising executive Paige Porter heads to Las Vegas for the finals rodeo with one goal in mind: find a cowboy with the perfect jeans to model her client's new Western clothing line. After covertly watching hundreds of men walk by, Paige finally finds the cowboy with her ideal assets. Before she can approach him, he disappears into the crowd. She's left with his picture of his back pockets, an annoying rodeo clown who makes her wish she'd never left home. Then we have Cooper, who lives a life to the fullest, determined to make people smile with his own special brand of humor. As a rodeo clown and barrel man, he loves engaging the crowd and getting a laugh, even if it means embarrassing an uptight ad executive who's desperately searching for the ideal model for the new brand of jeans. Intrigued by the woman, Cooper has no intention of telling her he recognizes the denim-clad backside in the photo she's flashing all over town. I laughed so hard on this one. The next two books are from the same series. And so the first one is The Making of a Matchmaker by Tess Thompson. This is the prequel to the series. I think it's, does it say? No, it's historical. In the fall of 1910, a violent patriarch with many enemies is murdered, freeing his long-suffering wife and 4 misfit children. Can a secret matchmaking plan find love for the eccentric members of the Thunderidge family? The 4 Thunderidge siblings grew up under the savage dictatorship of their wealthy and powerful father. Isolated on a small island in the Puget Sound, his 3 sons and daughter have little hope of finding love. Given their unique personalities and internal demons, romance seems unlikely. But when their mother secretly engages a team of matchmakers, hope blossoms for this lonely, slightly odd family. So I don't know anything about this book or this series or this author. But when I saw this next book I'm going to tell you about, I was like, oh, I'm intrigued. And that is the reason I got, because the prequel was on sale as well. Well, it was free. And the one that caught my eye was A Match for a Bookish Bride. So this is book 1. Nope. Well, now it says book 2. The other one said prequel though, but this is book 1. So maybe that one's book, I don't know. They follow each other anyways. Can a worried mother find the perfect match for her family of eccentrics on a remote whale island? In the spring of 1910, an advertisement I spotted in the Boston newspaper called out to me. Wealthy family in need of secretary on Whale Island must have an affinity for books. When I'm offered the position, I do not hesitate to pack my meager belongings and travel to Washington State. After all, I have nothing to lose. I've been dismissed from my current position. I have no family. It's all a dream come true. The only problem? My employer, Benedict. He makes my heart flutter and my knees wobble. I didn't expect him to be handsome or interesting. Unfortunately, I'm not from prestige or wealth. A man like Benedict would never marry a woman like me. Yeah. Bookish Bride. It caught me by the title name. And the next one is Danger in the Wilderness by Darlene L. Turner. This is book 1 of her new series, The National Park Protectors. It is a love-inspired suspense book. And I've really enjoyed Darlene's writing. And it says, a search for a kidnapped camper could cost them their lives. Park Warden Decker's father-son camping trip turns into a nightmare when a serial killer abducts his father. With just 72 hours to find him, Decker turns to criminal investigative analyst Blair to identify the park campfire killer. As they follow his taunting clues and face increasingly violent threats, Decker and Blair know that one wrong step could be fatal. With the ruthless criminal following their every move, can they stop a killer in hiding, waiting to complete his deadly plan? Okay, and the next one is also got a Darlene L. Turner story in it. It is a novella collection called I Heard the Bells. And so we have A Christmas Wedding to Die For by Darlene L. Turner. Then we have Season Up Forever by Helena Shemrick. I have no idea how to say her last name. I've never read from her before. We have Falling for You by Melanie Stevenson. Again, an author I've never read from. And Merry Christmas, Mr. Potter by Sarah Davidson. Again, I've never read from her. I have read from Darlene L. Turner, so we'll see what the rest of the series is like, or rest of this book is like. Then another one that just sounded interesting. I don't recognize the author, but the cover got me. It is An Uncertain Road by Abby Downey. And it says it is book 1 of the Adventurous Hearts series. A female auto racer, a mechanic determined to walk away from the sport and a race of a lifetime. When young widow Flora returns to America, she's determined to use her training in auto racing to support herself and her French mother-in-law, even if female drivers are rare in 1905. So when the owner of a successful sporting goods store hires her to drive in the Glidden Tour, a 10-day race through New England, she jumps at the opportunity. Jensen must be convinced that joining the team as the ride-along mechanic is worth the risk. After losing his best friend in a tragic racing accident, Jensen has vowed never to participate in the sport again. But his promise to protect the friend's younger brother, also on the tour, is the only thing that outweighs his fear for the dangers. As they race through New England, Flora and Jensen find common ground that ignites their interest in each other. But doubts and old enemies come between them. Hazardous road conditions, meddling locals, and competitors will stop at nothing to win. They all conspire to prevent Flora and Jensen from reaching the finish line. As the race of a lifetime heats up, one question rises above the others. Can their love find the road that leads to forever? I don't know, it just sounded really good. I love the cover, so I picked it up. It was free. And then another one that I just had to get because it was free and I loved it when I initially listened to it, and that is A Brilliant Night of Stars and Ice by Rebecca Connolly. This is a fictional retelling of the rescue of Titanic, of the Carpathia coming to the Titanic's distress call. And so it is told in dual perspective by a passenger that was on the Titanic and the captain of the Carpathia ship. And I listened to this on audio December of 24, and I absolutely loved it, and I learned so much through it. And so when I saw the Kindle version was on a free deal, I was like, okay, add to cart, buy now. Okay, then Shanna Hetfield had another free book, and it was Wrestling Christmas, which is book 2 of the Rodeo Romance series. And so in this one, we are meeting steel wrestler Court, who struggles to come to terms with the unexpected detour of his future. Although he attempts to drown his sorrows at the local bar, his family has other plans. After being shanghaied by his sister and best friend, Court finds himself on a rundown ranch with a worrisome, albeit gorgeous, widow and her silent, solemn son. 5 minutes after Court lands on her doorstep, Kaylee begins a battle to keep a promise she made to herself to stay away from good-looking cowboys. When her neighbor said he knew just the person to help work her ranch for the winter, she never expected the handsome, brawny, former rodeo star to fill the position. Ready to send him packing, her little boy has other plans, a Christmas plan. So, yeah, I love the Rodeo Romance series by Shanna Hetfield. So to add another one to my collection so that I could reread the series just made me excited. And the very last book is Art of Deception by Kara Putman. This is the prequel to the Secrets to Keep series. So it is just a novella, from my understanding. Yes. So it says, 8 years ago, she ran to safety. Now, Charlotte's past has caught up with her. Charlotte was forced to leave everything behind to shield her son from a dangerous life. As an artist, she's built a new world of safety and security for them both, far from the shadows that once haunted her. But the peace she's fought to maintain is shattered when her past comes crushing back. The Italian crime family she escaped from has reappeared, determined to pull her back into their web of deceit and crime. This time, they want her to participate in their money laundering scheme, and they won't take no for an answer. But Charlotte has other plans. She's willing to play along, but only to bring down the ex who tore her life apart. romantic suspense. I was pretty sure it was. Okay, let me get a drink and then I'll show you the physical books. Okay, so for my birthday, but it was a couple days late, which is fine, my BFF gave me The Codebreaker's Daughter by Amy Lynn Green. This is a historical fiction, World War I and World War II. It is a mother-daughter story, and it's really character-driven, set in Washington, D.C. They do not go overseas at all, but you know what's happening during the war because of what the characters are dealing with. But yeah, and it's got journal entries from the mother's journal from 1919-ish, from World War I anyways. I really enjoyed this story. I initially listened to it and I didn't even realize it was journal entries until like quite a bit through the book. I just thought we were going back in time because I was listening to it. But yeah, it is. And this would work for Epistolary January if you're still looking for a book. Okay, so that is book one. Then I participated in a book swap, book exchange. I don't know what we called it, through a bunch of booktubers and bookstagrammers where we all put our names in and then we each got a person to buy for. And it's kind of based off the Iceland book flood, the book that Rosanna M. White did. I don't know what it's called. Okay, I'm not even gonna try. And Anne in Search of Wonder got me the two books, and she got me You Make It Feel Like Christmas by Toni Shiloh. It's just a novella that is set in Washington, D.C. So Anne's note says that she has done a lot of the things that they mention in this book. And I have already read this book. This was the last book I read in 2025. I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed seeing like the Christmas activities they were doing. Then the other book she gifted me was The Bitter End Birding Society by Amanda Cox. This is her newest release that came out last summer. It's the only Amanda Cox book I have left to read at this point in time until her next release comes out. I cannot wait to read this because Amanda Cox has quickly become a favorite author. And one of the books I read last year was kind of my book of the year last year. So I am very excited about this. And then in my sprints earlier in the week, I was told by somebody who had just read this that there are letters and emails and stuff in this and would work for Epistolary January. I'm like, how can I get this onto my January TBR? So I am very, very excited to read this one. Okay, then at the end of the month, I placed a book outlet order because they were having sale and I had a coupon that I could put together and I received money for Christmas, so it's just kind of all worked perfectly. So the books I got was Season of My Enemy by Naomi Mush. This is part of the Heroines of World War II series. And it says, get your farm in the fight. The realities of World War II come to Wisconsin. Okay, then I picked up books 2 and 3 of the Quantico Files series by Nancy Mell. So book 2 is Deadfall, book 3 is Freefall. These are romantic suspense. I already own book 1 of the series. Haven't read it yet, but now I have the whole series, so I could just binge them, maybe? I don't know. I'll just read the taglines of both of them. So book 2 is Deadfall, and it says, he has a deadly endgame in mind, and he's already chosen each victim, including her. Then book 3 is Freefall. The closer she comes to the truth, the deadlier her chase gets. Okay, then another books 2 and 3. This is by Jody Hedlund. It's part of the Shanahan match. I don't know how to say the series name for sure. Book 2 is Saved by the Matchmaker, and book 3 is A Wager with the Matchmaker, and book 4 comes out beginning of February of this series. Again, I already own book 1, but I have not read it yet. But I'm like, let's just work on completing the series. And I cannot read a tagline on either one of these. This is historical romance. There is no tagline on it. Then a couple Doors to the Past series. So the first one is Undercurrent of Secrets by Rachel Scott McDaniel. I've quickly fallen in love with this author and trying to read everything she's written. And this one says, two women, a century apart, expose a secret aboard a steamboat. Then the other Doors to the Past is Passages of Hope by Terry J. Haynes. And the tagline says, Gracie discovers a hidden room of secrets. And the last book, so I haven't read any of those ones. The last book is one that I've already read, and I just will complete my Rachel Fordham collection, and that is Beyond Ivy Walls. It's a historical romance. This is kind of a Beauty and the Beast retelling with a bookbinder. Is this the one? No, this is not the one. Forget that part. It is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, but so it's Iowa 1903. And it says, reminiscent of Beauty and the Beast, a recluse and a young woman discover that the scars of life are no match against an active love. So we have Otis, who is scarred in some way and keeps himself away from people and is a recluse because of it. Then we have Sadie, who is fighting to work and provide for her family. And Sadie's approach to life is so sunny in outlook, and yeah, I just really enjoyed it. The way she supported Otis and helped him, and the way like Otis like kind of reluctantly got to know Sadie a bit, and there are a couple people who kind of act like a matchmaker a little bit between them. I just really enjoyed this story, and this will complete my Rachel Fordham collection. So those are all the books that I brought in the month of December. Now, I'm going to show some books that I am unhauling as of 2025, like by the end of 2025. Yes. I'm like, did I add any Januaries? No, I did not. And I think I've shown all these in a weekly vlog or in a wrap-up where I said I was going to unhaul them, but so I'll just do them very quickly. That is False Witness by Randy Singer. I read this, gave it 2 stars, didn't really enjoy it. Then we've got The Witness by D. Henderson. Again, read it, didn't enjoy it, I'm unhauling it. Then we have Self-Incrimination by Randy Singer. I've decided not to read this and just unhaul it. And we have Dying Declaration by Randy Singer. I did give this 3 stars, but that was kind of should have been more of a 2.5 maybe. I read it in December. I did not enjoy it. I'm passing it on. And the last book is From the Valley We Rise by Elizabeth Musser. Again, I gave this 3 stars. I just didn't connect with it the way I wanted to, so I am passing it on. So those are all the books that I'm unhauling at the end of December and all the books that I have brought in. So where does that leave my TBR going into 2026? As of December 31st, 2025, I have 131 books on my TBR. Now, my goal for the last 2 years has been 130. So I was close, but I am also only 3 books less than at where I ended the year in 2024. So I mean, that's actually not bad, but I'm going to be more proactive this year to see, can I get it to that 130 or below? Can I keep it there? I don't really have a number, like maybe 100, but I don't know. I don't really have a goal exactly. And the 130 was very, very loosely made. One of my friends was like, what's your TBR at? And like, you know, where do you want your TBR? And so we were just bantering back and forth. And I said, I think 130. And then 130 just kind of stuck. And I ended the year at 131. So there you go. So that is everything I have for you today with the books that I have hauled, other than The Bitter End Birding Society, because that is the book on the top of my want to read next list right now. And well, maybe not at the very top. I have added another book since then, but it is near the very, very top. Other than that book, please let me know what book you have read that I should move to the top, or that you are just intrigued and want to read as well as me, or want me to read. So let's chat in the comments below. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video today, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.